How's it going, everybody? My name is Ryan. Welcome to Crosswatcher. I got a tarot read for you today, but this is going to have a twist. Yes, the sound you hear is rain tapping on a empty garden shed that I'm shooting this video on. Anyways, let me just give the disclaimer that none of the information you're going to see in this video has any factual evidence. The opinions given, they're for entertainment purposes only, and you use your own discretion to whatever it is worth. I am going to pull some readings on some current events going on today, lately. I've got my laptop open and hopefully a decent enough Wi-Fi collection. I've got YouTube open, and the algorithm gives me various videos and topics. Two of which I'm looking at right now. One is involving a bridge collapse. The Baltimore Bridge, the Key Bridge, collapsed, causing havoc and potentially causing a potential economic partial shutdown or whatever it is that's going to happen now that the port is completely sealed off, and whatever the facts are for the damage that's done, the lives it's claimed, and the heartache it's going to cause the entire city. That being said, it seems like there's going to be a lot of theories coming up. There's going to be a lot of conspiracies, and I, for one, my opinion, by just looking at the footage for myself without anybody telling me any interpretation about it, it looks as though this accident into the bridge was well planned. You can see clearly, one of the most notable features is how first of all, the boat, no matter what it did, whatever effort it took to avoid the pillar, seemed to crash right into it, causing the collapse of the bridge. But then also, if you follow the footage, you can see second by second or half second by half second, you can see all the events. All the cars stop driving on the bridge. There's no cars on the bridge. I know there was some footage of some cars, but I don't know the details to it. But from what I could see, the traffic had been closed off. The second, and not a second sooner than the boat hit the bridge, and as the bridge was falling, the power cut off, the lights cut off to the bridge, and then you started seeing all these sparks, which look like charges to me. If you can understand, the complexities of an old, rickety, historic bridge, it's not going to just fall and start sparking everywhere. The power is not going to do that, especially after it gets cut off. It got cut off, and then you see all these sparks, these charges. People are going to be talking about that, and they look like they were charges big enough just to blow the initial bolts to cut the sections, and then as it seemed like this accident, this bridge collapsing down after a successful collapse, all of a sudden, then you start seeing these larger charges going off at the base of both pillars. The one notably all the way to the right, the one that didn't get struck by the boat, it goes up in a big flame, and I saw this initially on the uncut footage. But then as I saw it being interpreted through the news media, I noticed that they were cutting it off right at that explosion. So you don't get to see that explosion. And it could be anything. It could be anything, but to me it looked like it was well-planned charges to make sure that the bridge did fall. This is in my opinion. And then when they showed the bridge in the daytime, I could clearly see what appeared to be black impressions from charges going off, from blasts going off. Wouldn't be surprised if they scoured, during the cleanup, when they scour for more evidence. If they do so, they'll find pieces of these explosive devices. Didn't seem like an accident to me. And that's nobody telling me that. That's just my interpretation of it. It's not factual evidence out there circulating around. I'm sure a lot of people are afraid to speak on it, but it just seems like, even if it was an accident, and this is the point of the read, is that even if it was an accident, we have to remember that we live in an existence. We are we are highly intellectual, intelligent, conscious beings having a human experience in a multifaceted, dimensional world, I guess you can say, existence. And for every truth that gets presented, that gets light shed onto it, there's multiple realities and multiple depths to that truth. So what you see, what one person sees, another person will not. It's just the facts of life. That's how our realities are created. We create our own interpretation of reality. We are bringing this into existence. And when big events like this happen, there are collective energies surrounding it, and we can map them through astrology, but then we can also get good reads on them through the tarot. So I'm going to pull a reading right now. Let's figure out a question right now regarding the ship, not whether or not it was an accident or it was intentional, but what the outcome of it is going to be, because that's not how things are manifested into our realities, to attach to any outcome. So what we want to do is we want to get a reading on what this will potentially teach us. Ace of Cups coming out. Yesterday I pulled a read on this. And one key archetype that Spirit showed me was the Ace of Swords, which led to that post. Because what we're experiencing right now in our own realities is a revelation of truth being the light to cast away darkness. And once darkness gets light casted onto it, truths are revealed. This endless cycle. But we just happen to be in an age where this is becoming the energetic status quo, is to reveal truths, to no longer fall victim to false perceptions in governing multiple realities, multiple interpretations. A lot of people think other people, are crazy. A lot of people might think I'm crazy, but the truth is that it's never going to eliminate, whether or not you point the finger or you are emotionally involved in your interpretation of anything, anyone, a good or bad. You're falling victim to that, what that attachment leads to. And that attachment that attachment to the outcome leads to a false sense of security. Okay, because life is not predictable. Life is chaos. Acceptance is a big key factor into solving the biggest riddles of life. To accept that you have no control. To accept that there's a reason for everything. And that is what the Ace of Cups is teaching us, to be emotionally balanced in the acceptance that there is a new beginning and there is a new perception. So that's the first card coming out in this read regarding the Baltimore Bridge. But let's see if we can't get another clear story. Maybe just a 3-card pull. I don't think we need to question what's going on in the subconscious. Spirit, if you want to just give us a general reading on the energy. You're trying to channel more truth. Yeah, look at this. So we've got the 7 of Cups, right? So we have Ace of Cups, and then we got 7 of Cups, okay? So basically, and yeah, by the way, I'm trying something new with the camera. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see if this video makes any traction or makes any sense. But yeah, so we got the Ace of Cups, which is the brand new beginning. This emotional balance, or at least this emotional gnosis, this gnosis of where our emotions are being pulled, which is clearly what the majority of these stories you're going to find surfacing in the news are they're going to be pulling on your emotions, and then so they're going to give you a lot of interpretations on what that reality is. You see, the cards, you know, at least right now, they are definitely on point with the point I'm trying to get across is that, or the spirit is trying to get across, is that we have to find solace in acceptance, you know, but then the acceptance of a greater purpose, and this is going to lead into the next part of this, is that we are all one. You know, we are all the creator. You know, we are all creator beings, and but we get to appreciate consciously stepping into this world, whatever it may be, for the good or the sinister, and getting our own experience, our own interpretation out of it. You know, but there are, as this card does specify, there is a shadow aspect to all of our desires and the options that life presents to us. A lot of karma that pops in and out of our lives. One second. Let's get this last card. One more card, Spirit. One more card. Oh, okay. All right. It always does that to me. 1 second. Let me grab this card that flew way off the table. This was the first one that came out. This was the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so a lot of money involved. But then 2 other cards that came out. We have the 7 of Swords. 7s might be popping up a lot for you lately. They have been for me. 7s and 3s. So now we have 2 7s. We have 1 is the Swords, the thief in the night, stealing from everybody in broad daylight. Or excuse me, the thief stealing from everybody in broad daylight. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So that's the second Pentacles to pop out here in this seemingly 5-card read. And then at the bottom, we have the 3 of Cups. And we have, the Moon. Okay? So right as a lunar eclipse happens, then all of a sudden, what happens next? A boat crashes into a bridge. So regardless if this is an accident or not, there's new investments made when it comes to the new opportunities to have a perspective on what reality you choose. So you want to be paranoid and think that it's a big old conspiracy, or even that conspiracies revolve around you, or do you want to just believe that everything is just an accident? You know, there are no accidents. I'm sorry to tell you. You know, I don't want to jump ahead of the cards, but ultimately, you know, this is what this is giving me. It's not a coincidence I said accident, because this is what's giving me the fact that it's not accident, because there's always something to gain consciously in this world. And all this life that we're living is the interpretation of the culmination of the collective perspective. See, we're all trying to get here, right? So, regardless if it's an accident, or regardless if it's the shadow realm, you know, the deep state, or whatever you want to believe in, causing this chaos in today's society, or even flat out causing maybe a terrorist event, or what seemed like a friendly accident, convenient to the powers that be, that might benefit from such an accident. You know, because a lot of people are going to be hurting, and we know throughout history proves itself. Regardless of how you twist around history, we can all recognize that when multiple people in the world are being hurt, there are a few who are gaining in power. They're gaining the perspective of their power, and they're gaining the lust for more. They're gaining the desire for more. 14:14 on the clock. The next story that we have going on is we have the Sean Combs, the trafficking allegations, and more specifically, the raiding of both his homes on both coasts, and who knows what other properties at the same time, which this action requires a signature from a judge, a federal judge. Okay, so somebody, somebody out there in the world had good reason to believe that organizing this Homeland Security raid of both West Coast and East Coast homes of Sean Combs was justifiable, right? So, yeah, never been a fan of Puff Daddy, and but this little part of this segment of this read is actually going to be expressed from the perspective of what Ryan Garcia has to say about the dealings of these powerful people and what Ryan Garcia knows. Ryan Garcia, the boxer, who I've never followed his career, I don't really know anything about him, but just watching him, understanding his perspective, a lot of what he's saying is just flat out truth. But surprisingly enough, even though a lot of what he's saying, everything he's saying is truth, it's surprising how misguided the perspective comes across. Because it's obvious that Ryan Garcia has fallen, victim. You can say fallen victim. Nothing's good, nothing's bad. Everybody has a lesson to learn in life. But it seems like Ryan Garcia comes from the perspective of handing his power over to a higher source that is above himself. And there's, man, we've been conditioned all our lives to believe that, well, what's wrong with that? But if you understand what loosh is, if you understand how energy works, you'd understand that when you do these acts, like when you channel information, you're taking. There's a give and take. The energy you put out, it doesn't just disappear; it turns into something else, and that is all part of manifestation. Whether or not you want to manifest positive things, or you want to manifest unpredictable things. Everything's unpredictable, but I mean, the point is that he talks a lot about God, and I want to say that there's nothing wrong with that, but there's a lot of emotion and attachment behind it. I'm trying to get a good read on this perspective to take on this particular situation here. What is this I'm looking at? Ryan Garcia exposes Diddy's situation after house gets raided by the FBI. That was 2 days ago. That's the first 2 videos that YouTube gives me on my algorithm. So right now we got the towers. So this energy is telling me that there's a tower moment coming. Right now, whether or not that's going to be for Puff Daddy or because don't forget this has to do with Ryan Garcia also. Whether or not this is a revelation that Ryan Garcia is going to have, a revelation we're going to have regarding him. Seems like this is the energy we're starting out with, and then we got the Knight of Swords, right? So what were we talking about? The truth. Okay, so the light of truth is a gift from the higher realms, the less dense realms, okay? Shedding light, and we have the ability in our 3D perspectives collectively to yield such a weapon, right? To yield truth. That's why I know what you're thinking. Yeah, that's why our society is built the way it is, where people create these truths for us to believe, and we're just not buying into them anymore, right? But well, staying on topic. Sure, this is all relevant. Okay, so Ryan Garcia's perspective and any actions he might take regarding yielding this truth that stems from a tower energy moment, Scorpio energy. Okay, being in the past tense. This is in the past tense. This is the current. So he's going to be using this as fuel to his fire, continually to, promote himself, to gain his following, because he's obviously all about his following. He's always got his people with him. He's a modern day warrior, when that's said without any emotion or attachment to his likeness or his mission, because everybody's got a shadow, right? Everybody's got motives, right? I'm not calling anybody out on anything, but we got 3 cards here. We got the Tower, we got the Knight of Swords, and we've got the 5 of Pentacles, right? So it always ends up being about something in the physical. It always ends up being some kind of revelation that we're just not ready to have consciously. And this and I guess the reason why this is relevant is because he has a broad influence. What else do we got at the bottom here? We got the 10 of Wands, we've got Temperance, and we have got So this is giving me so if you got the 4 of Pentacles, the stingy little bastard right here, and you've got this guy at the end sealing your deal. This is all about the ego in the time of Aries. This is all about the self, right? Check your first house. If this is reigning true for you, hit the like button. And I see the Death card. And definitely look into what's happening in your first house, because that gives me strong first house energy of the self, and revelations that are going to come from the action of yielding such truth, the sword of truth and light. More power to him if he can influence people to be on their best paths. Otherwise, what's the use of all this information? We got 21:55 on the clock. Let's do one more. Let me hit the refresh. Let's see what comes up. Let's see, UFOs, skeptics. Yeah, let's talk about UFOs, right? UFOs. Okay, so we've got something going on. I don't talk too much about this, but we have a revealing of a truth coming, because a lot of people believe that there are agencies out there planning a fake alien invasion. Now, that's been talked about for a long time now, but it appears that we are coming up on the cusp of when they're actually supposed to be carrying out such a ruse. 2024 and 2025. Okay, will it happen? Yes or no? The cards aren't gonna tell us about that. But I can guarantee you, without flipping the cards, let me shuffle. I can guarantee without checking the cards that aliens don't come from outer space. That all the technology you see out there that's unexplainable, that's coming from our planet, right? And that the truth is probably going to be, I don't know, it's not going to be liberating. Let's put it that way. The truth of how it all comes about, it's not going to be liberating. It's not going to be like just cut and dry. Okay, but we hold this technology to all these UFOs. We hold the technology to fooling the entire planet into believing a reality that we want to. We, quote unquote, want to. With the 10 of Cups popping out. Let me shuffle one more time. But knowing the proper questions to ask is more or less how will this affect our perceptions, our truth. When the deed is finally done, and we find out on any given reality of whether or not aliens exist, whether or not they're just the interdimensional beings, which they are, which their friend, their foe. We realize, that there's an element of status, but there's an element of working together to put such a status up so high. You know, this is the relevance of what we're talking about, of this, of UAPs, UFOs, alien existence, interdimensional beings, the truth we're looking for. And right now, as the energy reads, we can be little Dora the Explorers and kind of narrow it down to an initial motive of holding some kind of a status. There's other people involved, okay, and we got a 6 coming out, the 6 of Wands status card. So that's great. Let's see if we can get another card. Yeah, oh, another wand. So 2 wands, and now we have the 8 of Wands, right? Status, other people involved, and then a message to be delivered, a power struggle, or maybe a one-sided power monopoly, power tilt, power lean, power flex, if you will. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. 2 cards coming out, all wands. Yeah, this is, it's not a clean cut dry answer on what's evil and what's good. It just, that's why there shouldn't be any expectations to the outcome when this reality finally surfaces in your world, in your personal world. You've probably been noticing a lot lately that something to be true, something that's on your mind. But then when you're talking to other people, when you think that they would see the same truth, for some reason they don't. Why do you think that is? Okay, there's nothing wrong with them. They're there in your life for a reason. 27:01 on the clock. See if we can't get one more card, Spirit. Let's give a future energy on where this is going, because we know that we're being bombarded, by this power struggle. We know that it's a status. Whoa, this is a little bit of a surprise right here. All right, here we go. And we'll look at the bottom. This is going to come together somehow. So we've got the 6 of Cups, right? So when you're reading like a relationship reading, this is the old flame coming back, right? So, but this is in the future tense, and it applies to this this question we're asking about, where should our perspective lie when it comes to this revealing of a truth in regards to the UAP situation, the extraterrestrial situation, is that it's a coming back to understand and communicate with something that was in the past, right? This is what this energy is, emotionally coming to grips with it, right? And then possibly even forming a new relationship. But that, I think it's a misconception to think that this, just because this card's here, means that this is a path of reconciliation, or a path of 2 people coming back together, or 2 things, one from the past, one from the future, coming to meet together in any given reality. So we have a sense of being bombarded by power, bombarded by energy. This is the press send button, the relentless attack. And then we have the status card in the beginning. So these 3 cards together. I don't know if I'm going to hold them up correctly. Let's just hold them up like this. Okay, we'll just say past, present, future energies. Okay, regarding the truth, of where our perspective should lie when whatever happens, whether it's a fake alien invasion or a disclosure, actually produces something and comes out with the truth behind who's working behind the scenes. It's always going to be a power dance. See, with this card and this card, there's a working together. There's a reason why this guy's on the horse. There's a reason why these guys stand supporting, carrying what they would call their interpretation of living it up, just like this guy. carrying his staff. They're carrying their staffs because they want inclusivity, right? Everybody wants in. It's a symbiotic relationship, okay? But the wands are going in one direction, right? And so what does all this mean, right? We know it's an emotional card. It's where we keep our heart. It's where our families are. It's where our familiar bonds are. This is this category, right? And then so you got the 8. You got the 6. You got 2 6s and 8. So you got 6 8 6. You got 6 8 6 coming out in this reading. So it's a power struggle to keep us, where we are comfortable. Being comfortable is a perception. Being comfortable is one of the worst perspectives you can have. I'm good. I don't need anything. Because if you don't need anything and you're comfortable with what you're doing, then you're not going to achieve the next best thing. And then we're all about the higher path, what's in our best good, that our higher self, the path that our higher self would put us on, energetically speaking. And then at the bottom here, we got messages not well received. We got the whole world's involved. We got some sort of judgment coming, and we've got this dude holding the world in his hand and his staff, knowing that there's nothing he needs to do. He doesn't need to step off this wall, right? It's a mind manipulating game. We get the world coming out twice. So, we got 2 2s. We got 2 2s coming out. Yeah. So it's a power struggle for your attention. It's a power struggle for your emotions. And that's why that's why nowhere, on TV, they're going to teach you to detach, right? But I'm going to close this one out by giving you the best advice you could probably get in these times is detach from the outcome, from the perspective. Just understand that it's there. It's trying to teach you something, and everybody has a different interpretation, a different lesson to learn from the perspective of their reality and the lessons that they have chosen to learn in this world. Okay. And this was fun. Just kind of getting the perspective on what YouTube's highest, what's important on their algorithm. And sorry, I don't have a lot of editing or any clips to show you. We're not there yet. Maybe one day we can be, and I can get the microphone and everything. But if you enjoy this perspective, give it a thumbs up. And if you don't mind my rambling, go ahead and subscribe to the Crosswatcher YouTube channel. And appreciate you for watching. Namaste. I'll see you guys. I'll catch you later.